Hello programmers, and welcome to a video series on the prize booth ticket game. We're doing this in 3rd grade, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at how to make our player. Our player character is going to need to be a sprite that is a person or an animal, something like that. I've chosen someone from the people category. We're going to program our player sprite to be able to introduce the game to whoever is playing our game. So I'm selected on Danny. Danny is my main character sprite, and I can adjust Danny's size by over here under the stage changing the number from size instead of 100 to be something like 50 or 75 or 100, and position him there. Now at any point, if we want to change our character's appearance, we just need to change their costume. We don't actually need to delete the sprite and change them. So let's just code this character for now, and at the end of the video I'll show you how to change their costume, so you keep your code. So on our player sprite, when the green flag is clicked, we need to have a variable. A variable is a placeholder for information that can change, and the variable is tickets. The amount of tickets changes in our game based on every time they play it and every time they buy an item. So we create a variable named tickets for all sprites. I clicked on that by choosing this make a variable rectangle here. I already have a bunch, don't worry if you don't have them yet. Make a variable named tickets and then click OK. What we want to happen is when the game begins, when they click the green flag, we want to choose tickets here from the drop down. We want to set our tickets to be a random number between 200 as the minimum value and 1000 as the maximum value. And when we click the green flag, we'll see that happen on the stage. There's our tickets, and the amount will just be a random choice between 200 and 1000. After the player gets their amount of tickets, we can then introduce the story. If at any point you need to pause this video, please pause it and try out what I'm showing you. And if you want a challenge, try to work ahead. So we need a few say blocks. And these say blocks are going to be the things that introduce the game to who's playing. And for the first space, we will say, welcome to my prize booth. And we're going to type in a little story here. Go ahead and try to fill in a story telling them about your game, what they're going to do in your store, about that they get tickets, they can click on items, and at the end they need to keep track of how many they spent to keep those items. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in mine and make sure that the time is long enough for each say block. So go ahead and pause the video if you need, and I'll work on mine. Okay, so I hope you had a chance to pause the video and to try out your own narrative story, our own fictional story here that explains the story, the game to our player, the person playing. Now, pause it again if you need to, or if you want to use mine as an example, because we're going to move on now, and we're going to add one more piece of code here, one more line of code. We want to tell the player how many tickets they have in a say block. We don't want to display it up here at the top because that's too easy. They can see their tickets changing on the screen when they buy items. We don't want that to happen. The player needs to keep track of it. So we're going to have a say hello block, and I'm going to minimize that by clicking this layout button. And what we're going to use is something called concatenation. Say concatenation to yourself. Concatenation is combining a string, which is like a sentence in coding language, a sentence. Combine a string with a variable. So we do that by dragging out this join apple and banana, and those are just placeholders for words or variables. So I've dragged in this second join apple banana into where it says banana. And we're going to put in this first space, you have, and then a space, because we need a space between the word have and our tickets variable. After the tickets variable, the number that's displayed, we need another space, and then we're going to say something like to spend. Good luck. And we should make this long enough that they can maybe write it down. So how about we'll make it like 7 seconds. So when the game begins, set the amount of tickets that they have to a random number, and then go through the narrative and then say at the end how many tickets they have. So let's take a look at that in full screen. So we can see up at the top 811 tickets. The final version of the game, it won't be displayed there, but that's just for a way for us to test. So our player is saying how to play, but there is a catch. You have to keep track of how many you spent. We should say spend. I'm going to change that to a D. You have 811 to spend. Good luck. And there you go. So now the person could be writing it down on their piece of paper to solve the multi-digit subtraction they're going to have to in order to win the game. So good job. I hope you enjoyed the video. Good luck. This is the point where I said if you wanted to change your character, you can. You don't want to ever delete this sprite because you will be losing your code. So what we're going to do, my screen sort of glitched out there for a second. Sorry about that. What we're going to do is go to this costumes tab up here above the code, click costumes, and down at the bottom of our screen, we can choose a costume button. And all we have to do is choose a new sprite, and we will go with this character. It'll change our Danny sprite to be this other character, and we still have our code, which is so awesome. So I can just add more costumes and I can play around with that without losing all my hard work. Make sure to save the video, and good luck. I'll see you in the next one.